Hello, and welcome to another episode of Just Jim. I'm Jim Luff with Aurora Payments and our sister company, Chosen Payments. I share educational information that helps all merchants with credit card processing by providing training, guidance, and advice. Aurora Payments is a full service merchant services provider. We're ranked among the top 10 merchant services providers in America. Today, I'm going to be talking about handling the delicate situation of a declined transaction. When a customer's credit card declines, it creates an awkward situation for you and the customer. Your first instinct is likely to run the card again. In fact, your customer will probably even ask you to try it again. If the card is declined, it will decline on each subsequent attempt. So don't waste your time doing it. This particular vlog should be shared with your employees who are tasked with completing credit card transactions. It will help them to be better prepared to handle a declined credit card in a professional manner. Without training, your employee may not know what to say or how to handle the situation tactfully and with grace. I'm going to share some tips that you and your employees can follow when a card declines. My first recommendation is that you have a plan. Having a standard protocol that all employees follow will make the situation easier to handle when it happens. There are many different reasons that cards decline that range from being delinquent to being over the established credit limit. The customer may have recently completed a transaction that was out of character for them that causes a decline. Whatever the reason is, you want to maintain a good customer relationship and not make your customer feel awkward. If you operate a restaurant and the customer is with a group of people, you may have to ask him if you could have a private word. The plan is yours to create based upon your type of business. Your plan should include a discreet manner for delivering the bad news based on your business and your point of sale area. Let's talk about decline codes. A decline code that indicates the card has been lost or stolen can become extremely awkward because now you may become the victim of fraud. In the case of a restaurant, obviously the drinks and food have been served, and if another form of payment is not presented or available, you could sustain a loss. This could also necessitate the need for law enforcement. If you accept an alternate credit card, do so with extreme caution and carefully compare the identification to the alternate card provided. In some cases, you might receive a decline code that says pickup. That means you should not give the card back to the customer. They will likely become angry. Be prepared to let them know that the card is the property of the bank that issued the card and they have asked you to retrieve it. If the customer becomes irate, it's better to hand the card back rather than to risk your safety. You can also call the merchant authorization line and ask for a code 10 authorization. This indicates to the operator that you have a potential fraudulent transaction in process. The bank will call the cardholder to verify the transaction. Here's a simple, easy method of handling a declined card. Simply ask, is there another form of payment you might want to use today? This makes it very apparent that the card declined without using the dreaded word. In most cases, customers are baffled about why their card declined. If they become angry, you will likely become the target of that anger. It is important to note that merchants and their employees must immediately convey to the customer that the decision is made by the issuing bank, and they should call the customer service number listed on the back of their credit card. Be prepared to point that number out to them if you have to. If you have space available where the customer can call their credit card issuer, direct them to that area so they can work out any problems in a private, confidential manner. Also, have them ask the issuer to pre approve your transaction with an authorization number. The transaction should be successful after that. You also need to be aware of the cost of declined cards. Each declined transaction cost a merchant an authorization fee for submitting the card for approval. This is why we recommend that you do not make multiple attempts to try a declined card again, as previously mentioned. Running the card 20 times will not change the outcome. It will only cost you more money. Visit our website, chosenpayments.com, and view our blog to read some of the common decline codes that merchants receive every day. That's it for this episode of Just Jim. I hope to see you back for another episode real soon. Thanks for joining me.